She called for help with a flickering light, but what she said after he fixed it changed both of their lives forever. Rain poured outside as Adam tightened his hoodie and knocked on apartment 4B's door. It was almost 2 a.m. He was tired, soaked, and ready to collapse after a long shift. But when the building manager said someone reported a sparking ceiling light in the hallway, he didn't hesitate. The door cracked open. A young woman stood there in oversized sweats, hair messy, eyes tired. "You're the maintenance guy?" Adam nodded. "Sorry it's so late. Just need to check that light before it causes more trouble." She stepped aside. "I didn't think anyone would actually come this late. Thanks." The bulb above the hallway buzzed angrily, flashing like it couldn't decide if it wanted to live or die. Adam grabbed his toolbox, propped a small ladder, and got to work. As he replaced the wiring, he heard soft sniffling behind him. He glanced over his shoulder. "You okay?" She quickly wiped her eyes. "Yeah, sorry, just long night." He didn't push. He just nodded and returned to the wires. A few minutes later, the light turned steady. Soft, warm, fixed. He climbed down, wiped his hands. "Should be good now. No more sparks." She looked up at the light, then at him. Then she whispered, "You just saved me." Adam blinked, caught off guard. "What?" She looked away, ashamed. "I was sitting in the dark for hours, thinking about ending things. That light. It kept flickering like it was mocking me. I couldn't sleep, couldn't stop thinking. But you showed up." Silence filled the hallway. The kind that presses against your ribs. Adam stepped closer. "I don't know what you're going through, but I'm glad I came." Tears fell freely down her cheeks now. "You have no idea how much this small thing meant," she whispered. He gently handed her a folded maintenance slip with his name and number. "If you ever need anything, light bulbs, leaks, or just someone to listen, you can call. I mean that." She held the paper like it was something precious. Neither of them knew what would come next. But something had changed. The next morning, Adam couldn't stop thinking about her. He didn't even know her name, but the look in her eyes, the quiet pain, stayed with him. He kept checking his phone like maybe she'd text, even just to say thanks. Nothing came. 3 days passed. Then, one evening, as he finished up a clogged sink on the second floor, his phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Hi, it's the girl from 4B. You said I could text if I needed to. I don't really know what to say, but I'm still here. Just thought you should know." Adam smiled quietly, thumbs shaking slightly as he replied, "That means more than you know. You hungry? I make a decent grilled cheese." There was a pause. Then, "I haven't eaten with someone in weeks." "That sounds nice." That night, they sat on her small couch, eating grilled cheese sandwiches and watching reruns of old comedies. No pressure, no big talk, just small moments, simple ones. And slowly, her guard began to drop. He learned her name was Lily. She'd moved to the city after a messy breakup and had no family nearby. The job she'd come for let her go within 2 months. Things spiraled. She stopped calling friends, stopped answering her door. The night she called about the light, she'd almost given up. Adam didn't say much. He just listened, gave her space. And every time she looked away, he looked at her like she mattered. Because she did. They started having dinner once a week, then twice, then daily walks, sometimes silent, sometimes full of laughter. Little by little, Lily smiled again. And Adam? He found himself looking forward to 4B more than anywhere else in the world. One night, a month later, Lily invited him over for dinner. Her turn to cook. Her tiny apartment smelled like garlic and rosemary, and candles flickered on the table. Adam smiled as he stepped inside. "Wow, this is fancy." She laughed. I Googled how not to burn chicken. They ate, they talked. And then she grew quiet. I need to tell you something, she said softly, looking down at her plate. That night, I wasn't just sad. I was planning to end everything. The light going out, it felt like the last straw. But when you showed up, I thought, maybe someone up there didn't want me to go just yet. Adam's throat tightened. He reached across the table and took her hand. I'm glad you didn't. She met his eyes, tears clinging to her lashes. You didn't just fix a light. You gave me a reason to hold on. He didn't speak right away. Instead, he stood, walked to her side, and gently pulled her into a hug. It wasn't romantic. It was human. Real. Safe. I don't think you realize, he whispered. You saved me too. She pulled back, surprised. He nodded. I didn't have anyone to come home to. Just long shifts, quiet nights. But knowing you're here, it makes this whole city feel different. Lily smiled through tears. And for the first time in a long time, her heart felt light. From that night on, they didn't spend a single evening apart. They weren't in love, not yet. But something stronger was blooming. Trust, safety, hope. And sometimes that's the first kind of love that truly matters. Something built not in grand moments, but quiet ones. At 2 a.m., over light bulbs, over grilled cheese, over being seen. By someone who cares. A year later, Lily stood in front of her own apartment door. Same hallway, same ceiling light. Only now it was steady, bright, and humming gently above her. She smiled as she looked at it, then at the man waiting beside her with flowers in his hand. Adam was nervous, fixing his shirt collar like it mattered. You sure you're ready for this? Lily nodded. I've never been more sure of anything. They were heading to an event where Lily was being honored. She had started a small support group for women struggling with isolation and depression. She called it The Light Above. I almost didn't make it here, she said, facing the group later that night. But someone showed up when I thought no one would. A man with a toolbox who thought he was just fixing a light, but ended up fixing so much more. Adam's eyes welled up as the crowd applauded. He couldn't stop smiling. Not because she looked beautiful under those stage lights, but because she was standing there, alive, thriving, glowing. Later, as they walked home under the streetlights, Adam took her hand. I know we've built something slow, steady, but I need to ask you something. Lily paused, heart skipping. Adam knelt down right there on the sidewalk beside a flickering lamppost. Will you marry me? Tears filled her eyes instantly. She nodded through them, pulling him up into her arms. Yes, 1,000,000 times yes. And that night, in the same apartment where she once nearly gave up, Lily fell asleep beside the man who had shown up for her in the dark, long before she ever believed she deserved it. If you believe even the smallest kindness can save a life, share this story. You never know who might be one light away from holding on.